Hello guys, it's me again, Larry from Braindown. So today we'll be looking at setting up your droplets. So with DigitalOcean. So first of all, you create a DigitalOcean account, you sign up, and then look for this option, GPU droplets. I'm giving it time to load. I guess I have a slow internet today. So now I left a deployment guide somewhere in the Brain document in case you don't know how to set up your DigitalOcean. I don't know why this is taking so long. Okay, yeah, that works. So let's go through the deployment guide somewhere here, but I would like to skip the first parts, even up to these points. You can click on this to direct you to the DigitalOcean manual, but let's stick to what we have on BrainDoc. Now you copy this. First of all, you create a new project. Inside the new project, you can create a new droplet, which is basically what I'm going to show you in now. I want to pick the minimum option possible. Let's just pick London, or with whichever server you like. Let's keep the cheapest server. I already set this up, but if you don't know how to set that up, you can go to the guide I show you. So when you click on DigitalOcean droplet guide, you get to this, and this pretty much explains everything you need. So let's come back here, and well, let's just rename this to and you click create. When it is done creating, then we can now start our steps. You can see we have several agents running already, but so now this is it. Give it a moment for it to steal completely, and then we can now jump to the console. This is the public IP that we'll use to verify if our droplet is completely set up. But then this is the DigitalOcean console that we'll be using to set up our virtual machine in the droplets. Give it a moment for it to load. So you can actually use your normal terminal, but that will mean you SSH root and then this IP address. This IP address here with your terminal, but I want to skip that. So let's just jump right into it here. So this is connected. So first you upgrade the the ATP. While that is running, let's get the next command. All the command you need is already listed here. The next command is to set up your nginx server. First you install the nginx. Okay, I guess this is still running. Okay, I guess this is done still in. Let's just use the maintenance version. Okay, I guess. Okay, while that is loading, let's explain the next part. So you set up the nginx server, you start and enable nginx, and then I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you do that. So let's set up nginx. We copy this too, which is for starting and setting up, enabling nginx. So while that is loading, so let's see something. So let's see. Now look at this. Normally this should not actually do anything. Like, oh, I already enabled nginx, I guess. Oh yeah, okay, I already set up my nginx, that's why it's already running that. But let's, okay, so nginx is already set it up. Let's go to the next thing, which is okay, we already verified your nginx is running. Let's configure our firewall, like the UFW uncomplicated firewall, I guess. So we've updated the rules now, and the reason for this is so that when we bring it up, it doesn't block out nginx and whatever else we want it to do. So we reload nginx again to we are good. Now we can install the net tools, which will enable us do some checks on the VM as we go. Well, this is like registering a couple of ports on your UFW, which is the SSH ports, the TCP IP ports, and then you reload, enable state, and then you check the status if it's on it. Basically, the normal stuff. So let's run. Yeah, that's okay. And we're good. You can see all the ports are allowed for the UFW is already running. So here is to just set up git, so we can now pull which will allow us to pull the projects while git is setting us. Let's set up Node.js. Now the reason I'm skipping this is that you don't necessarily need this depending on the project you're working on. Now if it's a public project, you can just pull it without setting up your email and stuff, and especially if you don't need to push anything from your server. But then if you do, otherwise you need to set that up, which is very, very straightforward to do anyway. So we are setting up a node. And this is just to verify if the node is available. But then the very next step would not work if node is not available yet, so which is to use npm to install pnpm, and that's pretty much it. So this next step is just to set up your projects anyway, but because our next video will be about setting up Docker, let's just we can just decide to make a directory and cd into it, and then so I'm making a directory. I decided to use home/ubuntu, but it can be anything. So I'm making a directory and I cd into it, so it can be anything for you. So you pull your project, which you'll be doing in a different video, you cd into your project and run pnpm or install whatever. It depends on what you need to do. So in this case, I want to set up Docker, because we need, the next video we'll be making will be on dockerizing and testing your project with Docker. So let's set up Docker, and also you can use Docker Compose to set up your agents. Depends on your preference. Well, most people tend to use Docker Compose for the use case of having multiple Docker files or multiple projects on the repo. But I personally prefer to use Docker Compose for the fact that it gives me that shorter command, so should I say more of like a shortcut to running normal Docker commands anyway. And that's pretty much it. You can decide to use PM2 routes. This is everything you need to set up with PM2, but you don't need a PM2 this time around. PM2 is not a major focus. We can just use for Docker Compose. You can just do this, and you basically have Docker Compose or your VM. Let's add that. We don't necessarily need to wait let's just add that, so that in our next video I can just show you how to dockerize, use